2, 1. We are live, huh?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. First of all, today's session is on getting out of your comfort zone. But before I start that, I would like to congratulate all of you for being a part of this APJ family, which I have known for a long time, around 20 years now. And to the best of my knowledge, this is the best institution in this region, an institution that has been built by literally by Dr. Rajesh Bagga through his blood and sweat. I've known him for the last 20 years now, and he has been with the institution for a long time and built this from the right from scratch. So I congratulate Dr. Bagga for that, and I also congratulate all of you for having been successful in getting admission to this great institution. Now,
Dr. Navdeep?
Hanji.
Yes, sir. So I'll be just introducing you. We have still many of the participants coming in. Like we have around 50. So, sir, I request you to start once we are, sir, at 100 mark.
Sure.
I don't want anybody to miss here or any of the talks. So we are still at 35 or 45 participants, and we expect in another 50-60 seconds more of the students would be joining in. So it's exactly 10:30, and since they are having their first lecture, so it will take around 60-70 seconds for them to shift
Not
to
an
this
issue, sir. Just let me know.
Yes,
when to
so
start.
I'll be just briefing the students, and then we can once we reach the 100 mark. So I would request you to start the lecture.
Sure. Not an issue.
So we have around now 40 students.
Not a problem, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right.
I hope all the students are joining in. You are already aware of how to join the Zoom session. I suppose you have been attending classes from last 1 month, and generally it would take you around maybe 1 minute or so to shift from one Zoom ID to the another Zoom ID. As you are already aware that we are having these virtual expert talks, and this is our 14th virtual expert talk, and we are blessed to have a range of experts from different industry and academia. And today also we have managed to get hold of Dr. Navdeep Agarwal, and he is one of the best in business management. And I'll be briefing you about the today's topic as well as the agenda for today. Once we are at that 100 mark, so 63 students have joined in, so I am waiting for another 30 or 40 odd students. So they would be joining. I can just have a look over the list of participants. MBA 3 students have joined. Again, BTech students are generally fast to join. Yes, BTech students are already there. So I suppose MBA 1 students are not in the participants list. I cannot see the names of MBA 1. BBA 1 is there. MBA 1. I'm looking for MBA 1. I suppose their first lecture is already over. Dr. Arya was taking the first lecture. So I suppose it would have ended by now. And MBA 1 would also be joining in. So if so we can wait for another 73 students are there. So we can wait for another 30 seconds or so. .78 students. So we are just short of a few before we can start up with this session.
So we'll be having students from different backgrounds. We are having students from MBA, BBA, BCom, BTech, BCA, and MCA. We'll be having variety.
Yes, so it's a mix of all kind of students.
Yes, of course.
Not an issue, ma'am. This is not a technical talk, so everybody should like it.
Yeah, sure, sir.
So we are now at 94. I suppose I should start up with the introduction part. Then Meantime, I would finish up. I think we'll reach that 100 mark. So welcome all of you. Welcome again to this virtual expert talks. This is the 14th virtual expert talk from this series of skill enhancement classes. And today's topic is very, very relevant topic. And the topic is getting out of your comfort zone. And we have managed to get another very good expert, Dr. Navdeep Agrawal. He is Associate Professor at School of Business Studies at Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. And he is one of the best in this business management field. We have been privileged sir, to get hold of you today. Like we were planning it from last few days, and finally we are here. And now we have arranged the talk for our students. And I would first of all thank you so much, Navdeep sir, for accepting our invitation to guide our students. And we are very thankful for joining us today and blessing us with your knowledge on this particular topic. And now I would request Harman, my colleague, to introduce Dr. Navdeep Agrawal to the audience, and then we can start up with this session.
Thank you so much, Kamal sir. A very warm welcome to all of you, to all the attendees, and to our guest speaker today, Dr. Navdeep Agrawal. He is working as Associate Professor with School of Business Studies, Punjab Agricultural University, Ludhiana. He has more than 20 years of teaching and research experience. His area of specialization is finance and investment. He has guided 7 PhD students and more than 70 MBA students research. He has published more than 50 research papers in national and international journal of repute, and also authored 3 textbooks on research methodology and statistical techniques, as well as financial management. So we are so very honored to have you here, and we are all ready to come out of our comfort zone, sir.
So I suppose there is some issue with the internet connection of Dr. Navdeep Agrawal. So he'll be just joining back in a few minutes. So meantime, we can have a look over the participants list, and now I can see around 97 students are already there. I think he's facing some network issues. Earlier also, there was some a brief interruption in the audio of Dr. Navdeep Agrawal.
So good morning, everyone. Dr. Rajesh Bhagat this side. Kamal, please interact with Dr. Navdeep Agrawal since he is facing, I think, some technical issue. Meantime, I will go with some sort of conversation with all the attendees, those who have joined so far, and I'm optimistic. Means I think the MBA first semester students, the class is just over. They will be joining meantime, and I will be continuing for 3 to 4 minutes. So meantime, Dr. Navdeep Agrawal, he can join and he can start with the topic. So the topic is quite up to date, means how to get out of the comfort zone. So the very relevant nowadays, reason being, my dear students, when we are talking about getting out of the comfort zone or something like this, and you can find out so far we are having 13 expert talk during the online skill enhancement sessions, and definitely in the days to come we are able to cover number of experts from the different areas, from the institutions, from the academia, from the industry. And I think when we are discussing about the out of the comfort zone, for that purpose I think the preliminary requirement will be it is about the setting of your goals, setting of your targets. And whenever we are setting about the targets or the goals, it must be the short term as well as the long term. And definitely, first of all, we are supposed to go for the short term targets first, and then ultimately we must lead all those targets into the conversion of our long term objectives and goals. I think right in the very beginning, the first to talk, if I can recall, that was how to enrich your CV and how to build up your resume, or by taking into consideration the LinkedIn profile. By chance, yesterday when we were listening to Mr. Intikhab Aslam as well, So we were discussing means we are supposed to go for a lot of certifications and all that, but right now, whenever you are entering into the first semester, first we must think what is the objective of the entire degree program. Whether we are pursuing the MBA program, whether we are pursuing the MCA program, whether we are pursuing the BTech program, or the BBA, BCA, or BCom. Now we used to do like this, ki whenever our semester is coming, these are the 6 papers listed in one semester, and then we used to go by those 6 subjects. And then after 6 months, when the next semester it is coming, we again go with the next 6 papers, 6 subjects, and then we start reading and we start acquiring our knowledge about that. But now basically the requirement is of little bit smartness as well. What I mean to say, it is the smart objective, smart student, and smart goals. What does it mean? Ki you are supposed to take one drawing sheet. What you can do, you can have the different slots for the different semesters. If the degree of 2 years, you can have 4 quadrant, and in case if it is of 3 years, you can have 6 quadrant, and in case if the degree is of 4 years, like in case of the BTech, that may be the 8 quadrants. And you must list all the papers in all quadrants, and further you must start establishing the relationship and interrelationship among all the subjects. Sometimes you must be coming across number of points ki whenever a teacher or a faculty is teaching in his or her class, what they are discussing about this topic, beta, we will discuss in detail in the 2nd semester or in the 3rd semester, or this topic we are going to elaborate in this way after 1 year or after 6 months or like this. So you must be in a position to establish relationship at that point of time. But once right from the beginning, if you are aware about all the subjects, all the papers, what kind of final product you are going to be after a completion of 2 years degree or the 3 years degree or the 4 years degree, then you are in a position to correlate all this. I doesn't mean to say it doesn't mean to say immediately within the 10 days you are in a position to establish relationship between or among all the papers, but at least within 1 month, 2 months, or maximum 3 months, you must be in a position to establish a relationship between or among all the papers. It means if you are not able to establish, it means something, some fault is there and you are supposed to plug in that fault. So this way, I think meantime, Dr. Navdeep Agarwal, he has joined. So I will not interrupt now in between the expert and you people, but definitely we will continue with our talk with regard to this, and we will cover up few of the points later on whenever I will be interacting with all of you. So meantime, I think Kamal, the problem is resolved.
Yes, sir.
So
thank you so much, Director sir, for guiding our students. Dr. Nadeep, I think you can test your audio. We can see you, but I suppose your audio is off. We are not able to hear you. You can join with your audio on if you are joining from your mobile. So there is a button with join with audio on the left side. I suppose Dr. Navdeep Agarwal has joined from his mobile phone, and because of some internet connectivity issue on his laptop, and we are not able to see the audio button of Dr. Navdeep Agarwal. So I suppose he has to, or if Dr. Vrinder Rai can.
In case if he is having any audio issue, let me know so that I can continue for next few minutes. In case if it is you can check with Dr. Navdeep Agarwal by messaging him.
Yes, sure, sir.
Whether the issue is resolved or.
So I'll be just checking in, sir. 1 minute.
So my apology to all attendees meantime because of this technical issue, but definitely we will be continuing with the discussion this way or that way. So continuing with the same thought process what we were discussing right just 1 minute back. getting out of the comfort zone, definitely we are in a position to get out of the comfort zone when we are setting a small targets first. Like we are having right now the target of enriching our CV or the resume or something like this. You can find out lot of ways and means in order to start with this. For example, your degree may be the MBA or the BTech or the MCA degree or the BBA, BCA, BCom, and accordingly you can plan yourself. For example, when we are discussing about enhancing the skill set, definitely the first enhancing the skill set one must be the core objective. And when you are having this as an objective, then you are in a position to drive lot of objectives. And how to get it, I think Dr. Navdeep Agarwal, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So very sorry, I have taken 5 to 7 minutes because of the technical issue. I have taken this privilege. So please, sir, continue.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you so much. Actually, I lost my broadband connection actually, so I had to stop in between and had to shift to mobile. But now I'm back with my this laptop, and we can continue with that.
No issue, sir. No issue, please.
So, sir, without wasting any time, I'll just move on to the today's topic, that is getting out of your comfort zone. And before I take up the details of the topic, I'll just start with the narration of a story of a sculptor who had to make a statue of Lord Ganesha. The sculptor was very, very expert in his job. And one day, the village head came to him and asked him to make this statue of Lord Ganesha so that it could be placed in the newly built temple in the village. Not an issue for the sculptor, so he went to the jungle in search of a stone that he could use to make this structure of Lord Ganesha. And he didn't have to go very far. And there he found 2 stones of an appropriate size, of similar size that he could use for making the statue of Lord Ganesha. So I don't know what came to his mind. Instead of taking 1 stone, he took both the stones to his home so that he could make a statue of Lord Ganesha. So he brought his tools, that was mainly a chisel and a hammer that he used to make use of to make structures out of the stones. So the moment he took his hammer and started chiseling the stone, there was a huge noise and cry, "Please don't hit me, please don't hit me. It is so painful. Why are you hitting me? Why are you giving so much of trouble to me?" So he was really surprised. He looked around, he stopped his work, he looked around, from where all this noise is coming? Who is shouting? Who is crying? But nobody was there. So he just took his as his misconception that maybe something is not there. So he again started focusing on his job and took out the chisel and the hammer and started hammering this stone. But again, there was same noise, same cries, same shouts. "Please don't hit me. Why you're doing this to me? I have not done any harm to you. Why you're doing this to me?" And to his surprise, what he found was that the noise and the cries were coming from the stone. It was a stone which was requesting this sculptor not to hit him. So the sculptor was surprised. It was the first kind of experience in his life. And he told the stone that "You are lucky one. You will be converted into Lord Ganesha and people will come to worship you. People will come to venerate you. You will always be sitting on the head of people. Why you are running away from this?" But the stone was adamant. He did not want to be hit with anything. He wanted to remain in that very zone where he was. So not wasting much time, the sculptor left that very stone and took the other stone which he had also brought with him. So again, he took this chisel and the hammer and starting hitting that stone with that chisel and hammer. And to his surprise this time, there was no cry, there was no shout, and nobody was requesting him to leave him alone. He stopped his work. He asked the stone, Don't you want the same comfort that other stone is looking for? I'm giving you trouble. You will be in pain because I'll be chiseling you with this chisel and the hammer. But the stone said, yes, I am in pain, but I am prepared for that pain because whatever you are doing to me it's for my good. So therefore, without wasting any time, this sculpture completed his job, and by the end of the day, he had completed a beautiful statue of Lord Ganesha. The job was complete. In the evening came the village head and he asked if the job was complete. Yes, the job is complete. The sculptor told the village head, and after looking at the statue of Lord Ganesha, the village head was very happy and he adequately compensated the sculpture and took the statue of Lord Ganesha for the temple. But before he could leave his house, he saw the other stone which had refused to be chiseled. He asked him, is this stone also required for some creating some statue? The sculptor told him, no, this stone is not of any use to me. If you want, you can take it. The village head took that stone also, and after installing the statue of Lord Ganesha in the village temple, that stone which refused to be chiseled, that was put down on the floor so that it could be used for breaking the coconuts which were to be offered to Lord Ganesha. So what happened? The stone which was prepared to take some pain was worshipped by people, was venerated by people, was garlanded by people all the day. And the one which refused to come out of its comfort zone and refused to be chiseled, it was hit every now and then with hard coconuts. So this is what happens when we do not leave our comfort zones, or we are not prepared to leave our comfort zone. So with that very story, I now come to the main talk about this. What exactly is this comfort zone and the details of the same. Somebody has said that we are a lot like cage lions. We have the ability to rule our kingdom, to take our control of our territory. We can lead ourselves to big goals, but we simply don't do that because we are confined by the cage that we have built around ourselves, which is also known as our comfort zone. A comfort zone is a place where dreams die, where aspirations fizzle, where hopes are crushed. It's a toxic place that holds us back from living an abundant life. And it's not just financial abundance, but love, friendship, spirituality, travel, in fact, everything. So as a wise person has said, the comfort zone is a place, it's a safe place where we do not risk anything, but neither do we grow. Let us face it, the comfort zone is a dangerous place to be. But what is actual meaning of comfort zone? Let us now look at that. A comfort zone is a psychological state in which you feel at ease, safe, and in control of what is going on. You are often in this mental state when things are familiar, when everything is going around how it should be. Sounds wonderful. Sounds great. Everything is as per order. No. Although everybody will tell you that you should have some routine, some discipline in your order, in your life, but it's great to change things once in a while also. The point is where this comfort zone comes from. If I look at our mental states, we can broadly classify our mental state into 3 zones. And the first one is our comfort zone only, where you experience low levels of anxiety or arousal. And this can lead us to lack of motivation and lead us to boredom in life. The next phase is when you have the optimal performance zone. This is where you want to be actually, where you should be actually, feeling a bit uneasy, which increases attention and interest, making you perform at the optimal level, at better level. However, in the third phase, when your anxiety levels become too high, you get too scared or too stressed. This can actually have a negative effect on you, putting you in the danger zone, making you and moving you into a panic mode, a burnout, lose concentration, which ultimately lowers your performance. I'll quote an example. For example, you have just finished your exams after clearing your qualifying examination, and think about the anxiety you faced during your exam. If your anxiety levels are at optimal level, you will be energized and focused. However, if you are over anxious, you get nervous and panic. And if your energy levels are also low during that time, you will be doing the worst of things. So therefore, you have got to get the right balance of the thing. The point is, how do we know that we are in our comfort zone? A comfort zone is a part of your life, and it would be no surprise if you have grown used to it. It is built from your routines and habits, and therefore it's a natural place to stay in. You will never feel uncomfortable over there or anything odd over there. I'm giving you some of the symptoms or signs that can tell you that you are actually in your comfort zone. And the very first thing is you feel unmotivated and nothing new excites you. You are not open-minded and you do not experience new things as they do not fit into your comfort zone. You will simply say, I'm quoting in Punjabi, this is not for me. Okay. And the next thing is you are afraid of taking risks in life because you believe it is better to be in your comfort zone, meaning that you miss out on great opportunities. And the last thing would be you do the same things every day. Everything becomes mundane. You don't feel like living your life and the routine life that you have been following, and you are just surviving. I think you understand the difference between living and surviving. So anybody will think of that, why anybody should be, when it is so harmful, why anybody should be stuck in the comfort zone? Let's understand that. All of us are different, and therefore our comfort zones are also different. For example, one might be scared to talk in public, and another person might be scared to talk to a person belonging to opposite sex. We are all wired differently. These comfort zones are like our safety belts. They make us feel secure, and yet when we step out of our comfort zones, we begin to feel stressed or anxious or loads of other psychological factors which lead us to avoid these scenarios. For example, I'm taking back to the Stone Age. The cavemen locked themselves into caves until there was a need to hunt, and we are very similar. We step outside our comfort zones only if we are forced to, only if we have to. Otherwise, we prefer to stay in our comfort zone. The point is why one should leave your comfort zone. And I can list a number of reasons for that why one should leave your comfort zone. And the first one is the adversity effect. By stepping out of your comfort zone, you will experience things for what they truly are. Initially, there are going to be some bumps along the way, but you will become more adapted to handling those situations. If you come out of your comfort zone, this will definitely give a boost to your productivity, because comfort is a killer of productivity. It leads to procrastinating and not getting anything done. Without a little dose of anxiety, deadlines seem to get passed for another time, and expectations for yourself are lowered and become a habit. For example, I'm quoting in Hindi. अभी कर रहा हूँ, अभी करने वाला हूँ. All these are basically procrastinating, and they are basically wasting time and productivity killers. If you come out of your comfort zone, the limits tend to become larger, larger, and even larger. For example, by slowly creeping out of your comfort zone, the comfort zone itself becomes larger and grow with you as you move forward, and your comfort zone will also get bigger, meaning you will be able to do many more things without initial fears. Your comfort zone also kills your confidence, because when you leave your comfort zone, it is going to be a bit scary at first. But by achieving your goals, you will feel empowered and confident in your abilities. And the last thing would be, you will always feel more alive when you are out of your comfort zone. Because when you are stuck in your comfort zone, you are just surviving. You are not living your life to the fullest. You are just surviving like an animal. I'm quoting in Hindi, खा लिया, पी लिया और सो लिया. And that is what your comfort zone is. We must face it that if your comfort zone isn't about comfort, it's more about fear, it is more about failure, and it is more about fear of unknown. And that is what drives us to living in our comfort zones only. Whatever the case may be, it comes from fear only. Low self-esteem, lack of confidence, they all seem to get rolled into one big disaster. So now I move on to what one can do to come out of his or her comfort zone. And before I take up that, I'll again quote a story of two hawks, two baby hawks. There was a ruler once, and once a person came to his courtyard and offered him two small babies of a hawk. Or those two hawks were of really good breed, and the king or the ruler was very happy on seeing them. He arranged for a trainer who would take care of them, give them good feed so that they could become stronger, and train them to explore the heights of the sky. One day, the news came to him.
Kamal, please check. I think again some
Yes, sir.
technical.
I suppose there is again some interruption in internet connectivity. So I'll just check it. Just messaging, sir.
I think he will be reconnecting again. The
Yes.
connection. Just.
So meantime, I would like to tell all the students again, like we have been able to arrange many expert lectures from industry, and tomorrow again we have a very good expert lined up, Mr. Rajiv Gupta. He is from TEDx curator Kanke, and he'll be, I think Dr. Navdeep is back from his mobile phone.
And Kamal, we are also planning to introduce one our alumni, Mr. Baljit Singh from IIM. So I think this Friday or next week we are arranging Mr. Baljit Singh, and Baljit Singh was coordinator with me in 2007 as a training and placement coordinator of from student cell. So now he has reached to level of the IIM, and definitely he will be sharing his experiences during his stay in our APJ Institute of Management and Engineering. And further, he is going to elaborate, I think, on 2-3 topics. We are in touch, and as and when we will finalize, we will float it to all of our students. Please check with Dr. Nadeep, otherwise we can continue.
So we are not able to hear your voice, Dr. Navdeep. Again, we can see you, but you are not connected with the audio, I suppose. That is why we are not able to hear your voice. So that would be a great thing for our students. Again, Mr. Baljeet Singh, our alumni from IIM, and he will be a great source of inspiration for all the students, because he has studied in this particular college, and he has been, let's say, doing great in his career, professional career, and he has reached to that IIM level. So if students from any of the college, it does not matter if you are working hard and if you are focused towards your goal, so you can reach heights. So this is what every expert from the last few days has been telling to all of our students, that you need to learn the skills, and as we are conducting many lectures or the induction lectures on the skill enhancement, so you need to learn these skills. This is not the matter of just attending the lectures. This is the thing is, it would work only if you are able to learn the skills. So like yesterday we had a session on Facebook advertisement. So if you want to do some digital marketing thing, so you need to learn the Facebook advertisement. You have to do it yourself. You cannot just attend the PPT and attend the lecture and then you will say that you are expert in Facebook advertisement. You have to create an account on Facebook page. You have to do the advertisement yourself by clicking on the various options, right? So that is the only way to learn the skill. So if you are good in something, if you are good in graphic designing, so you need to design some graphics. Like there was a session in on graphic designing also, and where Harman ma'am has taken the session on the Canva. So many of the students have given the feedback posts also. They have made the feedback post on the Canva. So it would be nice if you can be associated with us. Obviously, we'll be making a team of all the students, the social media team. So if you are good in graphic designing, if you are good in Canva, if you are good in, let's say, some other softwares that are used for making Adobe, the Premiere Pro or something like that, you can get associated with our team, social media team, and you can design our graphics for the college. So that would give you exposure also. That would be a nice experiment for you also. So where you can highlight your skills to the public, because we will be boosting your posts to the public. And once you are able to gain this kind of a skill, so that would be beneficial for your professional life also.
And very great, Kamal, rightly you have explained. But apart from this, my take further with regard to the national education policy, my dear attendees, all students, as you are aware about the new education policy being exhibited by the Government of India. We are deeply analyzing the national education policy with regard to our institution. We are having 26 institutions across APJ Education Society. And in all the educational institutions, right from the first standard to the PhD level, we are exploring each and every area where we can give some concrete results to our students. So the major highlights which we have gone through so far about the national education policy, it is to be termed as a typical student-centric policy. So student-centric policy, what does it mean? Ki all students must feel delighted ki as per the new education policy, now whatever the skills we want to explore, the credits will be given to all of you. Suppose you are doing an engineering degree, but simultaneously you want to establish your skill set in any of the domain. You can go for that area and finally the credit will be given to you. It will be, there is a concept of later on, this is not a right platform, right, to discuss in so much of detail, but briefly I am guiding you right now. But in detail, at length, we will discuss all the details and how all students, they can get benefit out of the national education policy. Suppose there is a one concept of ABC. Academic Bank of Credit. Academic Bank of Credit, it is just like a commercial bank account. You are depositing your money and you are withdrawing it anytime. Similarly, academic bank credit concept, it is given for all the students across India as per the new education policy, how you can store whatever the credit you are taking for any of the area. Whether you are pursuing MBA degree and you are doing something technical, that credit will be given. For example, if for passing an graduation degree, right now the procedure is one must have the 120 credits. In case you are able to do 120 credits, it means you are able to get one academic degree with regard to graduation. Similarly, with regard to post-graduation, with regard to research, number of credits being allocated to students. So the concept is, it means the need of the hour will be how you are in a position to enhance your skills, and that will be the need of the hour. And definitely, in order to be successful in future, that may be the entrepreneurship, that may be your own venture, or you are going for industry ready. For all the areas, additional skill sets are being given weightage as per the new education policy. And by taking into consideration the new education policy, we are having on daily basis the expert talk. So that's why at least within a period of 1 or 2 months, you must be able to adapt the industry as well. So definitely we are going to discuss all these points in detail in future too. But meantime, Kamal, please check whether Dr. Navdeep, he has joined back, or Dr. Navdeep.
I think so. He has joined.
Sir,
Yes,
you're
sir.
audible to me, sir? Yes, yes.
Okay, sir, please continue. Sorry, I am taking privilege out of your time because of this
No,
connectivity
sir,
issue.
it's any technical
I am
problem
taking
at my
advantage
mind.
out of it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Please, please.
Right, sir. I'll continue, sir. Okay, am I audible now?
Perfectly, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. So I'll just restart with the story of the two hawks, which the king had received from a gifter. So once those two hawks had grown, and the king went to see them, how they were doing. So he told the trainer to release them in the air so that they could explore the heights of the sky. So the first one, the first hawk went very high in the sky, explored all the heights, and the king was really happy to see his hawk. But the second one was a problematic one. Initially, he flew, rose to some height, but came back and sat on the branch of a tree. Once, twice, thrice, every time that this trainer brought him back and told him to release him in the air, he would do the same thing. The king was really disappointed at this behavior of the hawk, and asked him why he was doing so. He says that this has become a problem for me also, and I'm not able to understand the reason behind this behavior of this second hawk. Every day he does the same thing. He has his food, he has everything, but he refuses to go high in the sky. So this has become a problem now for me also. So what the king did was, he made an announcement in his kingdom: whosoever will make this hawk fly high in the sky, he will be duly rewarded, adequately rewarded for that. Having heard that, a large number of people, the literate people, trained people, experienced people, they all came and tried their luck with the hawk. But the same thing happened again and again. The hawk would go to some height and come back to the same branch of the tree. One day, the news came to the king that the second hawk was also flying high in the sky. He was very happy. He immediately asked, who is the person behind this? And what he was told was, it was a small farmer from a nearby village. He immediately called for the farmer and asked him, what such big literate people could not do, you have done in a few minutes only. What was the reason? Why this? What was the trick that you did? He simply told him that the hawk was coming back to the same branch tree again and again. I simply cut that tree, that branch of the tree. So I have simply removed the comfort zone of that very hawk. And now he's exploring all the heights of the sky. This is what happens to our lives also. This comfort zone attracts us so much that we are really not prepared to leave that very comfort zone. So therefore, I'll be listing some points for you people, which you can follow. It is not going to be easy to do that, but I'm listing some tips for you that you can follow to leave your comfort zones. And the first one thing is that you need to be aware of what is your comfort zone. What are the things that you like, which make you comfortable, and what are the things that make you uncomfortable? And for that very thing, you have to take a pen and a piece of paper. Draw a circle on it and place the things that you are afraid of on the outside of circle. And the things that make you uncomfortable, comfortable, and those things should be listed inside circle. This will allow you to have a visual representation of what is your comfort zone and make you realize what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable. This is very, very important. Second thing, you must become clear about your aims, what you want to do. So with the list of what makes you uncomfortable, look into them in finer details. For example, like in the example I said earlier, you might be scared of speaking in public. But what makes you do that? Why you are scared of speaking in public? The reason behind that. Do you not like the sound of your own sound or your own voice? Or is that you are not used to a big group? Or it's simply you have never done it before, therefore you're scared of that. So by understanding why you are scared of doing something, you can become better or avoid those situations, adapt and grow from it. Third thing, seek discomfort. Always try to seek discomfort. You are all youngsters. At this age, if you try seeking comfort, you will never be comfortable in your life. So one way of escaping the boundaries of comfort zone is by expanding it. Make your boundaries larger and larger. Put yourself in a position where you know discomfort is going to be there and arise or even do those things that are in your comfort zone, but with a pressure. For example, you might be feeling comfortable talking to a friend, but by trying to push around out of that amount of time that you spend around with your time, that you try to hold eye contact with them. The more wiggle room you have, the easier things will become easy for you when you go into public. Next step would be, small steps are often better than large steps. For example, it is great to start trying out things that make you feel uncomfortable, but don't take a big jump or in the head only. Instead, take small steps for progress so you don't become overwhelmed right in the beginning. For example, somebody is scared of water. Somebody is scared of swimming. What he should do? And he's prepared that I want to go out of this comfort zone and I want to learn swimming of anything of that sort. He should straight away jump in the canal or start with a small pool. Yes, start with a small pool so that you become comfortable and later on you can jump into that canal also. But don't try head on right in the first instance only. Next thing would be, you must see failure as a teacher, something you can learn from, because it is a fear of failure that is the main reason that stops you from going outside your comfort zone. Learn from your experiences and implement what you have to learn to see success. Okay. Next thing would be, you are the average. This is a very, very important point for the youngsters. It is commonly said that you are the average of 5 people you spend time with. So if you want to have a life, live a life on the edge of your comfort zone, start hanging around with people whom you follow, or whom you want to emulate, whom you want to be like. They will influence you and help you change your behavior. I'll quote an example over here. We are in Punjab and many people start having alcohol in the very young age only. So if somebody wants to give up alcohol, he will have to change his company. You cannot give up alcohol by being in the company of alcoholics. You will have to give up that company and start living in the company of those who do not take alcohol. Because as I already said, you are the average of 5 people you spend most time with. Next thing, try not to avoid challenging yourself. But if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, just be honest with yourself and those around you. Admit that you are anxious instead of always saying that you're busy. Okay? So if somebody is there, just tell him, I'm anxious, I'm not feeling comfortable, but don't say that I'm busy. This can not only seem rude, but you might find that other people are in the same position as you are. Try to look for benefits and not for the negative things. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, try thinking about what could go right, because that is the positive feeling. That gives you positive feeling. Look for positive things in the things you're trying to do. This could even get you a new job or the dream partner even. Always keep your motivation in mind. It is all about positive thinking. There is a book titled The Secret. Everybody should read that book because that really gives you a positive way of thinking and the positive way of looking at the things. Your life is very precious, but if you take your life so seriously, that also becomes a problem for you. You must have a laugh. If you make a mistake, just laugh and move on. It is inevitable that you're going to hit bumps along the way, but don't worry about it. It's a part of process. Every successful person has always faced some failures in life, but don't be bogged down by those failures. Try to learn from them. And the last thing would be, the last point would be, have fun in your life. This might sound a bit cliche, but stepping outside your comfort zone can seem like a scary thing, but once done correctly, it can be great fun also. You get to experience new things and learn from those things yourself that you have never got before. So to conclude from here, at the end of the day, all these things that you have just seen, what we can conclude from here is that at the end of the day, as we face more and more of our fears and discomforts, the more and more we tap into our potential. It feels good, and if we feel good about ourselves. But most people won't do this. That is why we have many people at the end of their life repenting so many things, having so many regrets in their life. I should have done this, I should have done this, I should not have done this. That must not come to your life. Therefore, starting today, you will do that is tough. You will step into your unknown and come out with a stronger person. I'll conclude with a story of a frog. The frogs have been given a natural ability that they can change their body temperature with the surroundings. So once a frog was put in a pot of water, but the frog, he was in water only, he never tried to come out. The next thing was that the temperature of the pot was raised by putting it on a burner. But as the natural ability was there, the frog kept on changing its temperature and remained comfortable. But how long? Now the temperature became too large, and this very frog died in that very hot boiling water. Because the only one mistake he made was he never tried to come out of his comfort zone. He could have jumped right in the beginning, but he preferred to remain in his comfort zone, and therefore he had to lose his life. So therefore, I'll request all of you to start making some efforts. First of all, identifying what your comfort zone is and then making effort to come out of that comfort zone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for this inspiring and very motivational lecture. I hope students would have learned a lot from this particular lecture, particularly about coming out of their comfort zone. Especially if they come out of their comfort zone, then only they can see the sky or they can move ahead in their life. So
Right.
particularly we face some kind of situation in placement office when the students say that they want the placement in within the Jalandhar region only.
Exactly,
So-
exactly.
So they should explore other cities of Punjab and India also. They should be ready to move to Bangalore or some other cities. Like many of the students do move, so they are also getting the fruit of moving to some bigger cities, like
Agreed, agreed.
in their salaries and everything. So I thank you very much, sir, for joining
Right, sir.
us today and guiding our students. So thank you so much, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
It has been a
Dr.
great
Navdeep.
time talking to you people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Navdeep, and good to listen life
Yes, sir.
skills from your side, from a teacher of finance. Of course, it is wonderful to listen from your side on this topic. I know personally your area of specialization, it is related with finance. So definitely on finance, we will cover some of the topics.
Yes, yes.
And I'm also looking forward for some of the, as I think in the beginning we discussed before the start of the session, with regard to the being the Indian economy as an agricultural economy. So about the commercialization of agriculture, we want to go for certain live projects, and definitely we will float those projects to our students. And in the days to come, definitely we are going to plan it, and we are looking forward your support with regard to this. And I hope
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. We are there.
we will get it. Thank you so much for joining
Definitely.
once again, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director sir, for joining us today again and guiding our students. So I request all the students now they can move on to their respective classes. Thank you so much for joining today.